There are 12 weapons, or martial arts as they are called in Where Winds Meet at launch. In this video I want to show you how to get them all and what the abilities are like. Thanks to NetEase for sponsoring this video. You can check out Where Winds Meet for free via the link in the video description. You start the game with the Nameless Sword, which comes with a really nice gap closer ability that turns into an AoE combo, and Shadow Step where you dodge backwards. With the charged heavy attack, which you quickly unlock in the talent menu, you can send out a projectile. The longer you charge it, the stronger it becomes. You also immediately receive the Nameless Spear, which you definitely should not underestimate. It lets you immobilize enemies and perform a stab attack as the other ability, but the charged heavy attack is especially great for dealing massive damage in quick succession. Immobilize the enemy, they cannot fight back, and then do the charged heavy attack. It's really strong. And yes, you see me now use it with the Healing Umbrella. I will explain how to get that one later on in the video. Very early in the game, you will also receive an in-game ladder with the Stormbreaker Spear. This weapon lets you taunt nearby enemies and grants you damage reduction. You also have Thunder Shock for extra damage, but this weapon mainly enables a tank playstyle for group content. It's not that effective solo, at least in my testing. Shortly after, you will also get the chance to choose another free weapon type, but this choice is very important. Some of the weapons you pick here are otherwise only available much later in the game, while others can already be earned early on. During a very early main mission, you have to check on a bear, which gives you the Tai Chi Mystic Art. Close by, you will find a man stuck in rocks. Help him and he will tell you to knock down a beehive. Once you return to him, you can pick one of the 4 weapons. As you can see, I returned to him later to test if I could already unlock some of these weapons early, and yes, that's possible. Both the Healing Fan and the Twinblades can be earned in the first region, so picking them here would be a waste. The ranged Umbrella and the two-handed Thundercry Blade, however, require you to progress much further in the main story. I would recommend getting the Thundercry Blade here because it's very strong and tanky, but I get why you would like the ranged Umbrella. What you can also do is return later to this NPC, continue the main story, and then at one point during the first main story boss, you can try these weapons out before you decide. I'll of course explain these weapons as well and tell you how to get them in this video if you don't choose them at this NPC. Oh, and this NPC is also really important for other upgrades, which I cover in another tips video. I will leave a link to it in the video description. Now let's focus on the early game weapons. From the Develop Martial Arts menu, you can see all available weapons and where to find them. The Healing Fan, called the Panacea Fan, is located close to that NPC I just mentioned. You will find a door that requires a key, and it is common for many weapons. These Loong or Dragon keys can be obtained in several ways. Doing your first breakthrough, so going to world level 2, gives you one of them, and they are also given out at outposts. So if you are hunting weapons but cannot open the doors, do these activities to earn the keys. To learn new weapons, you need to spy on enemies performing moves with them. To get in position, you first have to complete a stealth puzzle. Use the wind sense to check enemies' field of view and sneak behind them to take them out. There are checkpoints and chests in these levels, and it's smart to use the Heavenly Snatch, which you also get by following the main story, to get these chests from a distance. This Healing Fan is great to unlock early on because it means that you can have one weapon focused on dealing damage and then switch to the fan to create an area of effect heal that restores a lot of health if you stay in the zone. It also has another healing effect, like overall a great weapon to start with. Again, go to Develop Martial Arts and then select the weapon and locate to see where you can find it. That's 4 down, 8 to go, and real quick, leave a like if you are enjoying the video so far. That would really help me out, and make sure you are subscribed for more Where Winds Meet content if you haven't already. One of my favorites, the Twinblades, can also be earned very early. They are amazing for single target damage, great against bosses in particular. The spinning attack and other moves that let you rotate your blade can also stun and stagger enemies. And by performing these abilities and your regular attacks, you build up Karmic Flame, which you can then activate when it's full by holding the heavy attack button. You will now enter a red flame-lash state where you are immune to crowd control effects, have a stronger light attack combo, drain HP, and gain increased critical hit chance and damage. Then when the red bar runs out, rebuild it again and repeat. A very powerful weapon. You also find it in a cave that requires a dragon key. Complete the stealth puzzle there to unlock it. Next up is the strategic sword, which is pretty cool because it applies bleed stacks that deal damage over time. You can do this with the inner track slash or with the charged heavy attack, where you charge to an enemy, leave slash trails behind that also deal damage and build up bleed stacks. If a target has 5 bleed stacks, you can trigger inner balance strike to remove them and deal a burst of extra damage. Getting this weapon is a bit different. We still want to go to the map location shown in the menu, but then talk to a nearby NPC and then spy on someone performing the Veil of Stillness ability. This lets you unlock this mystic art so you can become invisible outside of these stealth puzzles. Report back to the NPC and then check the strategic sword again in the menu for a new location. Another cave requiring a key. Complete the stealth puzzle there to get the weapon. For the next few weapons, we will have to travel to the upper region of Qing. Grab the map from the fireplace icon, it will of course help a lot. And the ranged DPS Inkwell Fan can be found near that same fireplace. Use a key and complete the stealth puzzle to earn it. This fan lets you push enemies back and drop a wind shield that blocks projectiles and forces enemies to move around it. It's great for keeping your distance while firing off ranged attacks. Also cool is that if you charge your light attack, you send out a tornado that flings regular enemies into the air. Really fun. And the Peak's Springless Silence ability lets you charge into the fight, launching enemies upwards. Now my favorite spear, the Heavenquaker Spear, can also be obtained around here. It's all about AoE damage. The Sober Sorrow ability lets you hit multiple enemies to build up your combo meter. If that combo meter is above 10, then all the buffs will be active. And the more buffs you have, the stronger your Sweep All skill becomes. We also have a really cool thrusting charged heavy attack, like it's a very solid weapon. Use the develop martial arts menu to find its location again, and then use a long key to enter the stealth puzzle and claim it. For the final set of weapons, we have to continue the main story until you reach the second launch region of the game, Kaifeng. You no longer need dragon keys here, but some weapons are locked behind pretty long and sometimes confusing quests. Don't worry, I will guide you through them. First, the Thundercry Blade. I love this weapon. It gives you a shield based on your max HP and grants fighting spirit. And you can use that to perform a strong charged heavy attack. When the weapon glows red, unleash it, do the full combo, and you will also knock enemies down. You can also use Sunrush Gale to pull enemies in, dealing damage and speeding up your next charged heavy attack by 50%. Also here, go to develop martial arts and then select the weapon to find the location. It's an outdoor camp this time you will have to infiltrate. You sometimes have to walk across these ropes to then in the end of course find the right spot to steal the skill and obtain the weapon. Next up is the Soulshade Healing Umbrella. One of the abilities provides a damage buff that also heals you, and its Toss Umbrella ability is in particular amazing. So yeah, you already saw it, but this heals you over time for a very long duration and can also heal nearby allies in co-op if their HP is low. It's perfect for pairing with a DPS weapon for solo play, since you will constantly heal while dishing out damage with that second weapon. Also here, reveal the location in the menu, but be careful, there's a poisonous mist nearby. So we want to enter through here on the map. Then once you reach this area, enter the building from the roof to get to the stealth puzzle, and then of course you can get the weapon at the end. However, note that if you equip 2 umbrellas, so the Soulshade healing one and the Vernal Umbrella, the ranged DPS one, that you cannot use that Toss Umbrella feature, because you only have 1 umbrella, you toss it, and yeah, then you cannot use it for damage or healing. So good to keep that in mind. Still, the Vernal Umbrella is a great ranged DPS weapon. I especially love the charged light attack, which lets you hover mid-air and fire projectiles that interrupt and heavily damage enemies. It also has a charged heavy attack that makes you fly around and land with a sweeping strike. The Spring Sorrow ability immobilizes smaller enemies, hitting multiple targets if they are close, and you can even throw the umbrella into the air, so it acts like a sort of drone that constantly damages nearby enemies. enemies. So you can get this one from the NPC I talked about earlier, or from a mission, but that is a bit trickier. The menu shows its location is inside Kaifeng city. You can only access this later on in the main story, so continue with that until you have access to the city. Once you are there, you will find that you cannot enter the building for the DPS umbrella. You will respawn outside. To gain access, find the man standing near the large bridge, which would be over here on the map. Talk to him to start the quest, then speak with the lady inside the restricted building, who will reveal 6 clues. Next, leave the building and go left twice to find a cat and pet it. From the cat, go over here so you can eavesdrop on a nearby conversation with 2 ladies. Then run back to the cat, and now you want to jump up using the cloud step. If you, like me, cannot jump higher up, then walk to the other side of the roof and then use the structure to get higher up. Now walk back to the other side, and then you will see that you can eavesdrop on another conversation. Then go downstairs in this restricted building. Here you will find 2 ladies talk, and you just like have to stand there and hear them talk. If you are then still missing a clue, go back to the cat and walk like this. There should be 2 NPCs sitting here on a bench. Listen to them to get the final clue. I already did this earlier, so that's why they are not here in the footage. And now you can link the clues in this order: bottom left to top right, top left to bottom right, then the 2 on the right, then left and bottom right, and then link the final one as well. You will then be teleported inside the restricted building. Sit down next to the guy who you see, use the heavenly snatch to grab the warehouse key like this, and then go upstairs, open the warehouse to find the hairpin. There are multiple items there, but yeah, it's easy to get the hairpin, and use that to access the upper floor, which you first could not enter. Watch the performance and steal the umbrella skill for yourself. And then we have the Mortal Rope Dart, a weapon that takes some time getting used to, but is really fun. With the blade-bound thread, you can pull an enemy towards you, use the skill again to slam them down, and follow up with a kick combo. Now this target becomes marked, which boosts your red damage by 50%. Yes, reds. You drop them using the other ability, and they will attack your current target whenever you use light attacks, massively increasing your damage output. Once you get the hang of it, you can melt enemies pretty fast. Its charged heavy attack lets you spin the weapon, gaining damage buffs as you charge. To get it, check its location in the menu. It's also inside Kaifeng city, and you cannot enter it right away. You will need a disguise, introducing a completely new mechanic. Go to the mysterious elder outside near the martial hall, and you want to steal his disguise, but you must learn how to first. The game marks a location. Visit this disguise shopkeeper, and she will ask you to draw a portrait of a lady outside. So go left out of the shop, then on your left hand side you can find her, use the prompt to draw the portrait. Then immediately return to the disguise shop, transform into the lady, and use Wind Sense to target the man outside. Select the item and he will then hand you over this item, since you now look like this lady. If you then claim the item from your bag, you finish the disguise tutorial. Now return to the mysterious elder, create his portrait, and then go back to the disguise shop to take his form. Because if we now return to the martial hall, we can enter. We also here want to use Wind Sense on the NPC inside to get the item that unlocks the inner courtyard. Once you are inside, enter the building, you get the rope dart, and then you can also steal the skill and the weapon is yours. And now totally check out another Where Winds Meet tips and tricks video by clicking on the screen. Subscribe for more content on the game, leave a like, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.